Hey everybody, Steve here, and today we're taking a look at the Red Zone. This game was designed by Sean Finegan, and it's available from the Gamecrafter website. It's for 2 to 4 players, and it's going to take you around 45 minutes to play out a game. Now, this is a game that is not a simulation, but rather a casual recreation of a football match where you'll be using special dice and play cards and then also game changer cards to affect the outcome of the game. Each team will have access to the same 5 playbook cards, and each down will be resolved by the teams revealing which play they chose. And if the defense chooses the same one, the play is stopped. And if not, then the offense gets to roll some dice to see how many yards they gained. Just like a regular football match, you'll have 4 downs to get a first down, and the team that scores the most points wins the game. So how does this all play out on the field? Well, let's open up the box. I'll show you what comes inside, take you through a sample of play, and then I'll tell you what I think after further review. So here we are down on the Red Zone field. So you get a fold-out board, and this is where you're going to keep track of the time of the game with this marker, and then also what down you are on. And then each team, the red and the blue, will have scoring markers that you'll just simply move up when you score a touchdown or a field goal. Each of the teams is represented by a helmet on a stand, the red and the blue team. And so when you're playing, whichever team is on offense, that will represent where the ball is, and the team that's on defense, that will represent the first down marker. Each team gets the same 5 playbook cards, one for the red team, one for the blue team. And there's 2 different types of runs, inside and outside, an inside and outside pass, and then a deep pass. And you'll see that the cards are color-coded, and they match up with the special dice. So for instance, when you're doing a run, you're going to use the red die, and a pass would use the purple die, and then a deep pass would use the blue, and then the yellow die is used for special teams. And then the other die that's out here is a 12-sided die, and this will be used with all the plays in conjunction with the special colored die that you'll use. So for instance, a run play, you'd roll them together, and then you total it up. So in this case, the run play would have lost a yard. Each of the teams also gets 3 timeout markers, and when you use one, you'll just simply flip it over to the X, and that shows that you've used that timeout. And then the last thing is the game changer cards, and there's only 1 deck of these, and at the beginning of the game each team starts with 2 of them, and then you'll gain them throughout the game. The opening kickoff, anytime you move into the red zone, and if a team uses a timeout, they can discard one of them to draw a new one. And the game changer cards, they do exactly what they're called, and they actually change the rules of the game. And there's a few different ones. There's defensive ones, offensive ones, and part of the fun of the game is using them at the right time and then foiling your opponent's plans when they seem to have the right play going off. And so how does a play work? Well, really simply, each team will secretly select one play. So for example here, we'll say that red just got the ball back and they have a 1st and 10, and they're starting on their own 45, and they're going to select an inside run play, so they'd hold that down. And then the defense has the same 5 cards. They're also going to secretly select a play, and then you'd reveal them at the same time. If the defense were to select the same play, it would be a defensive stop, and in the case of the run, they would lose 2 yards. but they didn't select the same play, so then you're going to roll the dice to see what the result is. And so in this case, the run play would have picked up 2 yards, and then you'd move the clock marker, move the down marker, move the team up 2 yards, and then you'd have a 2nd and 8. And then you would reset the plays, and you'd go again. Now, some of the other results that can come up on these special dice is this BT, which stands for broken tackle. And what that allows you to do, if you roll the dice and this comes up, that means that the runner has broken a tackle, and you get to roll again. So you would gain 4 yards, he breaks a tackle, and then you would roll again, and so you wouldn't pick up any additional yards on that play, but they would keep going like that, so you can occasionally get a long breakaway play on those if you keep getting the broken tackles. The other icon is the football crossed out, and that stands for a broken play. And so what would happen on a run play, it would just simply mean that the run gained nothing, and if you did it on a pass play, it would mean that it was an incomplete pass. However, if you roll that symbol and a 1 on the D12, then that would indicate that the offense either had a fumble on a run play or an interception on a pass play. So that's also one of the things, if you keep re-rolling, if you get a broken tackle, then there's more of a chance that you're going to get a fumble. And then the only way that that changes, of course, is with the game changer cards. So let's say, for instance, that we selected an outside pass, and the defense also selected an outside pass. So normally that would result in a sack and a loss of 5 yards, but the red team happens to have a game changer for elusive quarterback, which says you play this card when the defense stops any pass play to escape the sack, and you roll as usual. So you put that in the discard pile, and then you would get to roll the purple and the 12-sided die just like you would for a normal pass as your quarterback escapes the rush. So the last thing I'll show you before we do a sample play is how the special teams work, and that's using the yellow die. And very simply, you'll use the yellow die and the green die together. So let's say, for instance, that the red team got stopped here, and they're facing a 4th and 8 from their own 47-yard line. So they're going to decide to punt. So you just simply roll these two together, and oh, it's a bad one. We got 1 times 3, so that means it only goes 3 yards. So we'd move it up 3, the blue helmet would go there, and then we'd reset for the first down marker, and then blue would take over. And what the die roll represents, it represents the kick and the run back. So you could either interpret that as the punt got blocked and blue was able to recover it there, or red got off a normal punt and blue returned it for a really big gain before finally getting taken down. And I'll also just mention real quick, the way that the timing works is anytime a play would keep the clock going, so a completed pass or a run play, you're going to move this marker down 1. When this gets down to the end of the row there, that means that you've played a full half, and then you'd reset. You'd have the kickoff for the second half of the game, and you'd play through one more time, and that would be the end of the game. Alright, so let's set up a game here. We'll have blue kick off. So here's the kickoff, and it's 35 yards. So we'll move them down 35 yards. 10, 20, 35. And so red will start with a 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. And here we go, the first series of the game. And because red just received a kickoff, they'll get to draw a game changer card to add to the 2 that they normally started with. So here's the cards that red has, and nothing that's going to really help us right now. So we'll start with an outside run, see if we can get things going. And so we'd reveal that, and the defensive player reveals that they chose an inside pass, so it's not a defensive stop. We'll grab our red die, our D12, and we'll roll. And unfortunately, it would have been a big run, but it gets stuffed. So it's a stop. Clock moves. It's second down, and we reset. And we're going to try for an inside pass. See if we can pick up something through the air. And the blue team guesses an outside pass, so we'll get to roll the dice. The purple one in the D12. Oh, and again it's the bad symbol, so we get an incomplete pass. So it'll be second down, and the clock does not move because it was an incomplete pass. So third down and 10. We'll go with an outside pass, and the defense guesses right and puts down an outside pass. So that means that we're going to be sacked. We'll lose 5 yards. It'll be fourth down. The clock will move. And red is going to have to bring out their special teams. So there's no card selection for the special teams. They just simply declare they're going to do a punt. Roll the yellow die and the green die. And we get 35 plus 8. So it's going to move up 43 yards. We'll go 10, 20, 30, 40, 1, 2, 3. So pretty good punt for the red team. So then blue would take over with a 1st and 10 on their own 31-yard line. Okay, so there's a look at the red zone. And just real quick, I forgot to show you the rule book when I was showing you what comes inside the box. And it's actually a very small and succinct rule book. It's just 5 pages worth of explanations, and there's actually even a quick reference card that comes with the game that basically tells you everything you need to know right here. And so as you can see, the game, it's a very light game, and with just the 5 playbook cards, it does begin to get a little repetitive after a while. But the game changer cards certainly add an interesting twist to the game, and they sort of keep it fresh because you never know exactly what your opponent has in their hand. And this is definitely a game that is going to depend on who you're playing against as far as how much enjoyment you're going to get from it. As for myself, being mostly a solo player, there's really not a lot here for me because the game is not designed for solo play, and there's only so much you can get out of just basically blind drawing your opponent's cards to see what they play. However, if you're looking to get a friend into board gaming just in general, or maybe if they're already a board gamer and you want to introduce a sports themed game, maybe this would be something that you could bring to the table. I guess the bottom line is, if you're looking for a deep simulation of football on your tabletop, then this game is going to be a pass for you. But if you're looking for a light filler game that's quick to set up, quick to explain, and quick to play, then maybe you're going to want to check out the Red Zone. Alright everybody, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. My name's Steve, and I'll see you next time after further review.